Athlete Nation. This is Luke.
Tex.
And John.
The big guy is here. That's right. Crew episode of the premier podcast in strength and conditioning. Today, we are taking a hotline question from a long-time follower.
Yeah.
Tim's been around for a long
He's been around forever and ever, and we never need anything from him.
But now we can't have him.
Now we can't have him. And now we need something from him.
For you, shame on you if you don't know that's a Zoolander reference. We are talking the Power Athlete game show. Would you call it a game show? What do you call these shows?
I think it's more
competition?
of a athletic challenge.
Okay.
Challenge.
We'll get back to that.
Challenge.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, the hotline is open. 929-464-4640 will get you to the Power Athlete voicemail, where you can leave a message, leave us some love, ask us a question, and we will answer it on the podcast, which is trending into the top 50 on iTunes.
It's in the top
For fitness, yes.
Yeah, for fitness. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. Get on it. We're doing it. We're all doing it collectively. Thanks, John. Thanks, Tex, for making this such a fabulous show.
What's
Thank
weird
you,
is we're in the
listeners.
top 200 for interior design.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing.
Top 5 in Russia.
For interior design.
That number again, ladies and gentlemen, is 929-0, because we are the premier podcast in strength and conditioning.
Ing.
Now, why don't we just go ahead? We're going to go
Okay.
ahead and play Tim's voicemail now. So it's about a minute long. Bear with us. Tim has been leaving us messages 3-4 times a day about how great we are. Where have you guys been? All right, Tim, what do you have to say?
Hey, Power Athlete crew, this is Tim Wacker again. Something else came to my mind with the championship of the Titan Games just ending on last Monday, a couple days ago. And you guys had Jen on there from the American Gladiator. You have things like American Warrior that there used to be the grid back in the day for a short spell. There are all these different, I think the Watt brothers got that tag game show now, whatever, you know. So I was wondering, what do you think the current shows, which one's the best to display athleticism, and what would the Power Athlete game show look like, or what would your if you guys were to create a show like the Titan Games or something like that, what would be included in that to really determine who is the most athletic individual? Anyways, here's a thought. I was trying to think about what I would do, but I'm not as knowledgeable as you guys. So anyways, look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.
Great question,
Great
Wacker.
question, Wacker.
And
What say you,
any
Lowborn?
excuse for us to talk about J.J. Watt, I'm in.
J.J. Watt. John is J.J. Watt's biggest fan, literally. But figuratively, he's his littlest fan. Right? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? He's going to get hurt this year, and he's going to retire. And
don't
he's
say
going to
that.
go in, and he's going to be in Fast 11.
Don't you take that trip to Negative Town.
I mean,
What's negative about making it to Fast 11?
When
That's
was
what
the
it
last
takes. It's
time
what you
he
got to
actually
do.
finished the season?
2016.
Well,
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen.
Has he helped his team win a championship yet?
No.
Have they won? Have they
Whoa,
won
that cut deep, John.
Have they
Relax.
won a playoff game?
Oh, yes, they have.
They did
was
win
he
a play.
playing in it?
No. Did he?
Yeah, it was.
Did he help his team
2012.
win a playoff game?
Yeah, 2012 against Andy Dalton in Houston.
Ooh, which you still have some angst towards Andy, don't you?
I'm just saying, he's a good player. He gets a lot of billing, and they give him a lot of runway. And for a guy that has not finished seasons, not remained healthy, and not
fair.
helped his team win at a high level, I feel like there's a ton of potential.
Disproportionate.
And we know
What you're
that
saying there's disproportionate praise.
potential is unused success and talent.
Do I need to bring up his stats as a tight end and compare them to someone else's stats as a tight end?
Don't be talking to me. You know I was a great high school freshman year tight end. Are you talking John as a tight end?
I never
You-
got thrown the ball.
Didn't you register as tight end at least? How many plays?
Against the Colts game, I had to play.
So you're technically a tight end.
But they never. They
Pass
never.
eligible?
They actually, I'm thinking, did they make me run a route? I think one time they were like, they called the route. And I'm
Wellborn
like,
arrow.
And they, I was supposed to run like a little kind of in and out little button hook, and I remember as I took off, I think that the outside linebacker just started laughing.
What year was this?
My hands were so shit. This
Philly?
probably,
Was it in Philly?
No, this would have been in Kansas City, so it would have been 2008.
5 career NFL touchdowns. I think 3 are pass receptions.
Oh, for J.J. Watt?
Yeah.
Well, Warren, hot route. What is hot route? I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're talking about. I get it. I'm just, believe me, I would have loved to have played against him just to see how good he is and to watch him get carted off the field.
Oh, God. Savage Wellborn. And that's what you were best known for as a pro, is ruthless and relentless violence.
Yeah.
So
speaking of
we
violence,
would have extra violence against him.
Speaking of violence, this is a fantastic question. I'm not going to lie, I had to go do some research and watch some of these shows. I'm not really into it. I'm not really into like the network television, to be honest with you.
I haven't watched it in a long time either.
I'll tell you what.
If it's not on the CW, we don't watch it.
So as we went back, nice self-burn.
What, you guys aren't worship the whole CW collection?
So no, Arrow and the Green Lantern,
Legacies, the originals. I mean, we've seen all these shows. It's my kids
Flash, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Have been out of school for over 6 months.
So the TV is getting all-time usage.
Dude, my wife was ready to like take an axe and cut the TV in half because the kids are like, "What are we doing? It's 104 degrees out. Let's watch TV."
Tie back. Your kids are big fans of American Ninja Warrior, correct?
Oh yeah, we love Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, so let's bring it in.
And
so
Naked and Afraid, which is totally their favorite show.
So as we look at the universe of these games, we kind of collected like what could the general population potentially use as a test for athleticism. And for those who don't know, Power Athlete has a whole training philosophy and methodology steeped in developing athleticism using tools like that you would find in the weight room or drills that you would do on the field to make you a better athlete. It's what we do. So that's what makes us subject matter experts in this. We watched these events and these shows and we determined, were these true tests of athleticism as we define it?
And there are a few variations. We have American Ninja Warrior is a good example of one person. So it's a person taking on a task, a feat, a course. Then we have person versus person,
right,
which we're big fans of. And then we had another class, person versus professional.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember we had a test for athleticism at the booth for the CrossFit Games as a vertical jump?
That's right.
And I do remember Brooke Entz came and competed at our vertical jump, who's also the star, the boss of Ultimate Tag.
That's right. So let's talk about the games that we just quickly collected. Number one, we heard Tim talk about the Rock's Titan games. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number two, we heard him talk about J.J. Watt's his Ultimate Tag.
And Jen Wiederstrom's American Gladiators.
Then he also mentioned the Grid.
He did Grid League. I forgot about
Grid
that
League or CrossFit. We'll put them all.
Yeah, like synchronized CrossFitting.
Yeah, so exercising. Then what?
Unison.
What else did he mention? Any others?
Ninja Warrior,
American Ninja Warrior, or Ninja Warrior.
I'll tell you this.
We have a couple to add.
As like having seen all these, I think by far the best test of athleticism has always been the Ninja Warrior. Like that stuff is incredible, but I think the element that I always liked, that I think really fosters and develops athleticism, is the individual versus another individual, like the pros versus Joes. So like, how do we marriage those two?
So that's the big finale, big guy. Mm-hmm. First, we must rank all these shows.
But and within that, the ones we threw out there that we introduced were the NFL Combine.
Yep.
And then a fun one, because we have one of these athletes following Field Strong right now.
Lumberjack Challenge.
The Lumberjack Challenge.
Okay. So let's talk about, of all of those, quick review. Tex, do you have them?
The Rock's Titan Games. American Gladiators. Now and 1980 or whenever the hell that was. And then Tag, J.J. Watt's Tag, American Ninja Warrior, CrossFit Games / Grid, NFL Combine, and Lumberjack Challenge.
So let's start from do you want to start from the least to the most?
Okay, CrossFit.
The most, least accurate and most accurate? Least accurate representation or display or test of athleticism.
Do we provide whys?
NFL Combine.
Yeah, let's do it.
NFL Combine.
You're going NFL Combine.
Yeah, I'm going NFL Combine.
Why?
Because it is so choreographed.
And
it's known tasks, and they've tested these over decades, And as you're preparing for it, you know exactly what is demanded. You know what numbers you have to hit. You know everything. And it's pretty much down to a science. And you go in, you just execute. And really what they're looking to do is have you just reach, like, are you the person that they thought they were? Okay. Or are you the person that the NFL and the scouts and the coaches know you to be? So it's kind of just like like an idiot check for, like, did you study for the test? And if you didn't study for the test, then you shouldn't be in the NFL. I think it's probably the least display of athleticism. Challenging. Now, you have incredible athletes doing amazing things, but it's not doing anything outside of their comfort zone to stress them in new, different ways.
So let me flip the script then. You have a bunch of schmucks that you're picking for your dodgeball team. You got 10 of them. And you could put them through the combine or the CrossFit Games. Which one's going to be a better selector of a useful like a useful dodgeball teammate?
Probably the CrossFit Games.
Oh, get out of here, well-born.
Combine.
Deadlift, like this guy's getting deadlift 135 pounds 30 times in 40
Here's why
seconds.
I say combine for the dodgeball, because there are position-specific drills. In our dodgeball position-specific drills, we got to go, we got to dip, duck, dive, dip, dodge, and dodge.
So I
dip, dive, dodge, and duck and dive.
There's 2 dodges.
Okay, so you're going, hey, listen.
I just think
this is America. You're entitled to your opinion.
I think, yeah, exactly. Let me tell you, untrue words have never been spoken in 2020. This is America. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Now it's like, if you don't have my opinion,
no, you're not.
I'm going to have to attack you and browbeat you and virtue signal around you and destroy everything you have, because you're not allowed to have your own opinion. You have to have everybody else's opinion, because if you don't, you're a Nazi.
Right, and you are for thinking the combine's where it's at.
It's got the most very functional bench press test, though, John.
Yeah,
yes, most functional. So what are you going with least?
CrossFit Grid.
Yeah, I'm on Texas page as well, and maybe that's just some animosity, John.
Man, I think
maybe we're the unwanted stepchildren of CrossFit HQ.
I think CrossFit. I think the Grid is a greater show of athleticism than the Grid.
Games are Grid.
I'm sorry. The Grid League is more athletic than the CrossFit Games.
I'll give you that.
So the CrossFit Games is just basically it's a baton death march. It's who can survive the greatest with Dave Castro's micro penis and tiny ego programming workouts that he could never do.
So that's CrossFit
Games.
Now,
well, let's just agree that they're both tied for 6th.
Yes. Next. So what's your next one then, John?
Give me some options.
Titans.
JJ Watt.
You're saying tag.
Okay, no, I'm just saying JJ Watt. Okay, what are my next ones?
So you got...
Okay. Titans, Gladiators, tags, American Ninja Warrior, and the Lumberjack Challenge.
Well, I put the NFL Combine as least.
Yes.
And then we have tied for 6 with the anything that looks like being CrossFitty with the CrossFit Games and the Grid.
So you agree with that as your next one?
Yeah, no, I believe that they are both equally. They're both tied for 6.
All right. So then, Tex, what is 5th for you?
I'm going to go Lumberjack Challenge,
right?
Meaning that it's very multi-plane, but there's specific events that you can train for, similar to the Combine, but more physically demanding and representative of the pieces of an athlete.
And they're done at like great heights. So they put those guys up high. They also hand them power tools, like you have chainsaws, which add an element of death, sharp axes. I think. Oh,
the element of death. You know, I didn't factor that in, but I like it.
I'll go with 5th for the Lumberjack Challenge.
So you had already gone 5th for CrossFit. Just keeping it honest.
I thought CrossFit Games and Grid were tied for 6th. Shitty.
So to clarify, ladies and gentlemen, you get your own individual list over there. I don't want your list touching my list. So John is ranking least athletic is the Combine, then CrossFit, then you're going Lumberjack?
I'm going Grid, CrossFit for 6, and then I'm going Lumberjack.
So I'm going Combine for number 5. For all reasons aforementioned. So you're going CrossFit, Lumberjack. I'm going CrossFit, Combine. John has Combine, CrossFit, and then Lumberjack.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, man. So now we're going number 4. What do you got? Big guy.
I'm probably going to go with number 4 as the Titan Games.
What?
How dare you? I'm going Ninja Warrior.
I'm going Ninja Warrior as well. You
read my list?
No. Here's why. It is a closed loop course, and everyone participating in it is probably about 130 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I
struggle
admire,
to believe.
No, I admire the caliber of athlete that are participating in the above rankings.
I disagree that it's a closed loop because they don't see the course until the first time they walk out. Mm-hmm. So they have different training opportunities, whatever, but when the new courses come out, they don't even have a chance to run through them. They put them out there, and those guys have to. Now, they can watch other competitors, but they've never really gone through it.
Yeah.
And then there's also elements where, like, the obstacles are moving, they're spinning, and they happen in different ways. I would disagree with your assessment.
For our listeners, open loop and closed loop are two modalities which an athlete can find themselves in. That closed loop is one that's rehearsable, predictable, like the NFL combine.
Well, like an example would be open loop would be like playing basketball, in a basketball game against 5-on-5, but then you get fouled and you go to the free throw line.
Great one.
That would be like your
closed loop. The open loop, it has some sort of external stimulus that can interfere with the rehearsability of a movement.
Yep.
So whether it's dribbling in basketball, driving the lane, there's now competitors or obstacles or something external to affect that central nervous system, which are two considerations to make when you're training athletes and developing athleticism. So TEX is, you're not saying necessarily that it's 100% closed loop, but it leans towards that way.
It's a known task, and part of...
But some of the most athletically demanding sports in the world are closed loop.
Mm-hmm.
Like gymnastics.
I'm not disputing that.
Like diving, gymnastics.
Yep.
But compared to J.J. Watt's tag...
Okay, now we're talking.
That is more athletic.
However, the contestants on there are garbage.
Well, that's another...
I'm going with Titan Games for 4.
Your Titan Games...
Are you saying tag's more athletic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know why?
We're on
way more change of direction. I didn't notice any change of direction in the Titan Games. Everything was sagittal plane.
So we both are on Ninja Warrior. So which then goes next after Titan Games, John? Which one do you think?
I will take 3 as tag.
Okay.
J.J. Watts.
I'm going Titan Games for 3. For that exact reason, John. It's like, for the most part, like, it is an extreme, like, it's amazing display of like strength, endurance, and really, like, you have opportunity to thrive if you are athletic. But for the most part, it's kind of narrow in focus, right? It's you versus obstacle. However, racing somebody, the obstacle can be imposed upon by another competitor. But I'm with you, not the best test, but it's up there for entertainment, and really probably wins the most elaborate set award.
It's
that's what I was getting.
It's really over the top. I mean, I was just impressed with not only the sets and how they do it, and it's dramatically more exciting than watching CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, watching people exercise is one thing, but like these guys are like, they're jumping over this. I mean, they got to drag the old ball and chain around.
That's my wife, John.
I really enjoyed watching the Titan Games. I think it's good.
I enjoyed it as well. So I am Ninja Warrior, and then above Ninja Warrior, I will go tag.
Ooh.
I got my top 2, so I'm going tag number 3. I just think that there are more impressive people out there to get into tag. JJ Watt, I love you, buddy, but I need to see more athletic people represent athletes out there in this race.
But isn't that the crux of the show? They got to bring on like the superhumans, kind of the American Gladiators, the Brookenses.
Well, that's what they chose.
With big hair and lots of makeup.
Those that haven't seen the show, and take it, you and I have, all 3 of us have only seen 4 YouTube clips. But the gist that I got from Brookens' entrance and the bad guy persona that she's painted, They take a similar gladiator style where they take a pro, quote unquote, and pit them against
tag master.
They pit them against an average Joe, a normal person. Right. They show this person's family and let them run around for 20 seconds.
Now, I think what's kind of ironic, and I was thinking about like the real bottom of the barrel, like you're the average Joe in the tag. I was like, man, they got to really search the bottom barrel. Whereas if you looked at the American Gladiators,
that's what I'm
a
talking
lot
about.
of times when you look at the American Gladiators, the people that were competing, they weren't Joes.
Yeah, they're bona fide collegiate athletes.
Yeah, they were good collegiate athletes.
Police officers,
that were competing against really, some top-notch
fitness models.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike O'Hearn,
Gina Carano,
and Jen Wiederstrom.
Yeah.
So I mean, dude, the American Gladiators, it's a pretty good show.
Oh, we'll get there. So I'm going tag 3, but JJ, you're probably going to get one last season, not on the Texans, stay with us, but on Fox for you to find a higher caliber of go steal these American Ninja Warriors and let them parkour all over the place.
Because that's ultimately what it is. Like you can thrive in that with like a high level of parkour ability. Like I know what I'm talking about there.
Dude, but I actually know a great amount about parkour for the mere fact that all of the parkour dudes around the world tag power athletes in their videos. So like whenever I look, because the power athlete tag pops up because, we follow it obviously on Instagram. And I find myself watching these crazy ass parkour videos. And then I took the girls to a parkour gym up in kind of North Austin, which, with COVID, thanks China, got shut down. But man, I love it. I mean, talk about a display of athleticism, the ability to control your body in those different environments, and also the element of death.
And the opponent. So the real open loop and reactive ability.
Yeah. Chase an open
Mother
space.
Nature.
Chase an open space.
We'll get there, John. Chase an open space.
Yeah. It has the potential. It has the potential, which is why it's number 2 on my list, to truly test and allow someone to display that athleticism. But the schmoes are ruining it.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like, listen, maybe I'd be a little bit better. I think it's just, I mean, if I had to run for more than 20 seconds, I think I'd get caught as well. But because there are certain events, it looks like you have to run around, you can't climb.
Yeah.
But then there are ones where you can bound across platforms and things like that, moving through space, using the opportunity to dodge. So I think it's there, but it's not doing it.
Yeah, and it appears they have different styles. Maybe I got to give this more where it's you just survive and you run around in circles for the last man standing
tag
versus a course where I got to beat you to X.
Yeah, like capturing the flag type deal.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the most...
Top 2.
Okay, so I gave my 2. So then, John, you got...
I'm going with American Gladiators for number 2. And then for my number 1, I got Ninja Warrior.
So I'm going, my number 1 is Gladiators.
My number 1 is Gladiators as well. 2, I got Titan Games by the mere production value of holy shit.
Production value has no play on athleticism.
But the creativity of the feats, I was very impressed with.
Really?
John, we're on the same page here. Tex, that's a terrible choice.
Ninja Warrior is by far, I mean, just the...
Similar production value, Ninja Warrior.
Well, I'll just set it like this. All right, do you think... Right, let's look at this. Do you think you could do the NFL Combine?
I can.
Okay.
But
Hold on.
Go.
All right. Okay. Do you think that you could compete in a CrossFit event?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you could do the lumberjack challenge?
Yeah.
Right. Did you look at the...
And you get. How about this? Let's say you also get 60 days to train with a coach.
Right. Did you watch the Titan Games and think there was anything that they were doing that you couldn't do?
No,
I was watching it and being like, I could do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're pinpointing the moment where Tex's heart is crumbling.
Okay. All right, think about this. Could you do ultimate tag?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it, and you could probably execute it, and you might not kill them, but I guarantee I could at least throw some moves
20
on.
seconds,
right? Could you compete in American Gladiators?
For 20 seconds?
Could you? No, I mean, honestly.
Gladiators? Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you said
Oklahoma
Warrior.
drill,
Yeah,
the ball toss.
Powerball. Yeah.
You, Gina Carano, on the rings.
I got to tackle her?
No, she's got to try to rip you off the rings. What's your strategy?
Just hold on.
Let her do it.
Just hold on to her chest, boobs. Could you get past the very first obstacle on Ninja Warrior?
The lateral at an angle?
No, dude. I guarantee that you would not even get off the first obstacle on most of the Ninja Warriors.
Well, we did the O course at the Coronado.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that's like Ninja Warrior?
Similar.
I mean,
I'm just telling you, all these other, Ninja Warrior is the only one that I look at and think man, this is their ability to be able to move through space and to be able to judge distances and swing in this, super impressive to me. Whereas I looked at that Titan Games and I thought, you give me a couple months to train for it, I would love to go smash that.
So I thought of what I think of Ninja Warrior whenever I watch it is it's so grip intensive.
Oh.
Right. If you have any sort of carpal or hand issues, it automatically like self-selects.
Yeah.
So that I think that for me, because there's such a focus on like grip and in climbing, it's not totally like it's not a general display of athleticism and the lack of a human opponent.
True.
Which for me is why Gladiators ranked higher and some of these other things. Now I'm with you in terms of like it is a spectacle to see somebody who's great at Ninja Warrior do the Ninja Warrior stuff.
Well, and you said all those guys are little. It's not true. We watched one recently where the dude was like 6'2", 205, 210 pounds.
Whoa.
And was actually like killed it.
And all those people are in great shape too.
Oh, dude, they're all phenomenal. Yeah, like you could probably be in not very good shape and get past the Titan Games. And well, I mean, you're not getting past the CrossFit Games. You're going to get murdered. I only know that because.
But you could compete. You could do all the events.
Yeah, you could like not competitively
finish last.
But Ninja Warrior is one of those things where these other things you could finish and compete. Ninja Warrior, you're not even getting out of it. Like you're not even getting off the first obstacle.
They don't even get it.
I do it.
A lot of those people don't even get off the first obstacle.
I think with enough training, I think you could. Let's say you had 60 days of training, but like here's the thing too, right, John? Like you don't know what obstacle they're throwing at you. So
yeah,
like,
they throw these.
They have like there's the primals of
new, they create these new environments.
Can they add an element of strength?
What do you mean?
In terms of
like absolute strength,
an absolute pick up an object.
Nah, it's mostly like climb, bound, swing.
But there's a lot of pull-ups.
Yeah, like it's upper body endurance, like it's muscular endurance to extreme. Now, okay, so we have like all these beautiful components that make even the low-ranking things, I think there's like great elements of that, right? Yeah. So there's nothing against most of these shows. It's just you asked what in the domain of athleticism, your ability to move through space seamlessly and effortlessly. Which one ranks highest? And I think we have a pretty good collection, and we're splitting some hairs, but I think it's a good representation. So now, what does Power Athlete do to really narrow the focus and challenge the athleticism?
Well, one, I think you have to look at the environments. They're on a sound stage in Hollywood. Okay. Air conditioned. The Rock, it's the middle of summer. He's wearing a cardigan.
Yeah.
So it's obviously cool, right? You need to make this, if it's the Power Athlete edition, it's going to have to be August in Texas.
In the elements.
In the elements. Dusty, dirty, 100+ degrees.
Okay, so it's in the elements. You must be competing in the elements.
We have a few types of challenge that we could select. We mentioned person versus person, person versus pro, or an individual. And we also have types of challenge. We have a course, and we have a feat, a race, or a one-on-one skills challenge.
So I think it's essential for the Power Athlete piece, in it being the objective to determine or display athleticism, in order for like the person versus pro, what it does is it allows the viewer or the host, let's say it's us three, it allows us to see how this person moves and performs against somebody who is at the highest athletic potential. So even if they're losing, they can still display a high level of athleticism. So we need to see what this person looks like when they're being outran or overpowered to get their true peak expression of athleticism. So I think there's got to be an element of Joe versus Schmo, or Pro versus Schmo, Pro versus Joe.
Joe versus Pro.
Yeah.
Which is another one.
What do you think of that take?
I'll tell you, I really think that the American Gladiators aspect of having somebody who's above extraordinary little individual. I mean, because most of those gladiators, I remember as a kid watching those dudes, and they were all look like professional wrestlers. Like they were all jacked. I mean, it was like we talked about the other day. Ravishing Rick Rude takes off his robe, and the dude is shredded. Like every one of those guys, Mike O'Hearn. I forgot all their names, but all in phenomenal shape, and they all moved really well. Like there wasn't any of the guys that were American Gladiators
right.
That were kind of like stiffs.
And as Jen said in the podcast, they all were competitors.
Yeah.
They didn't want to lose.
Yeah, and they were trying to take these people down.
Dominate.
But the thing that I loved was that the competitors that were coming in, like there was one dude who was a college football player, who was a black dude, and I remember it was our favorite one to watch because we were, because normally the dudes are getting trucked. He all of a sudden, as he went to go do the Oklahoma drill, put his shoulder into one of the dudes and flat-backed him and ran him over. He like kind of took a step and then jammed into him and fucking drew his shoulder.
Okay, interesting.
So like these guys were actually legitimate like college, pretty good athletes that were their competitors. So they just weren't picking up like schlubs like J.J. Watt was doing with probably his family members throwing him in there to go play ultimate schlub tag.
So Tex, your question with regards to American Ninja Warrior, a display of absolute strength. My contention is that has to be against a man's most worthy adversary, another man.
All right.
So that would be like the Oklahoma drill or something like that. So it's your opportunity to display
Tug of war?
absolute strength or be outpowered. I
think one of the prerequisites for manhood, at least in the power athlete deal, is you got to do Oklahoma drill. So, but you got to do it like old school. So you got a offensive, defensive lineman, you got a linebacker and a running back with the ball. And they set up the walls where you got the guys on either side. We used to have to line up, like I think it was like 5 yards, but like one half offense on one side, defense on the other. So there was no, like if you went to go out of business.
No, you're getting.
Yeah, you're going to get fucking lit up by your
sideline.
Yeah, by the sidelines. So like that old school, like, or the other one that I loved was when they made the dudes lay down on their backs.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to pop up and make the tackle. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was the best part of football.
Yeah, so those drills are included, and it's a mixture of quickness, power. It's a mixture of grit, like the emotional and psychological components of athleticism. They got to be in there. And then, like, I do like the event in Gladiators that was like the open field tackling as well, because that is like your ability to close, judge, engage distance, but not of like a platform in Ninja Warrior. It's of somebody who can move, and you have to anticipate. So like there's a lot going on in like an open field tackle as well.
I like those because it's one opportunity, one shot. And we can also have another event similar to Gladiators Powerball where it's all right, we got 60 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you got as many reps
all right,
as you can get.
Once you get knocked down, you get back up again, and it's a replication of ability within
like
whatever time we decide.
Mano competitive environment.
Well, we admitted one, as you were talking, it just kind of dawned on me that we admitted something that probably hands down could be the single most greatest display of athleticism, because it adds not only there's a physicality,
I think I know
pain,
where this is going.
Fucking training. I mean, all these key factors, and you got to make a weight. UFC fighting, right?
But that's not like it. That's a legitimate sport, so that I wouldn't say that's game show.
But I mean, you could. I mean, they do have the Ultimate Fighter, where they bring people in, but I guess that's kind of a game show for the sport, kind of like they do. But I mean,
but there's got to be some sort of, that's interesting. Weight class. Would there be a weight class in the athleticism, or is it like the most athletic and powerful and quickest shall prevail, regardless of size?
Well, if we look at strength, power, speed, right? Speed would factor in, and then you get the absolute strength side. It would almost even out in some respects, but at the same time, they got to face.
And then, do you think that they're also to test rhythm, let's say, and tempo?
Oh, a dance off?
There's got to be dancing.
Like what's that dance show?
So you think you can dance?
Is that what it is? No, Dancing with the Stars, right?
No. There's a dance show called
The Competition.
So You Think You Could Dance, and then there's a new one with Jennifer Lopez, which is called.
Well, I'm in.
Is this on the CW?
No, it's World of Dance.
World of Dance.
I haven't heard of this.
Because you don't have 8-year-old daughters that go to dance class. So then what do we watch? Oh, hey, they've TiVo'd World of Dance. Next thing you know, I'm watching dance routines with the kids.
So what do you think about having that dance off? Kind of like Swayze, Chris Farley, SNL?
J-Lo looks phenomenal. She's like
watch the Super Bowl.
She's like the land that time forgot. She's like ageless. It's insane to me.
So what do you think? Power Athlete series, is there a dance off?
Well, that a breakdance fight? Or is the tiebreaker, the draw, you have to memorize a dance routine? I
don't know. Like I say, you also need an all-out foot race.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the dance off.
So
you have to ward off. You have to ward off at least 30 bad guys. surrounding a pommel horse, trying to attack you, Gymkata style.
When you said ward off, all I was waiting on is you're going to ward off 30 drunk Naperville guys from at Luke's wedding.
One pommel horse.
To get to the one pommel horse.
Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, John has introduced us to Gymkata.
So,
in 80s.
85, there was a movie called Gymkata that was one of my brothers and I's favorite movie, right up there with Vision Quest and Revenge of the Nerds, Weird Science, and Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. Those movies were like my childhood.
It's a world where gymnastics meets karate to form an ultimate martial art, Gymkata.
Gymkata.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jim Jones did the same thing. Why can't we have Gymkata?
We can.
And you don't even know what a kata is, do you?
Kata pommel horse?
No. A kata in martial arts is a pre-assigned set of movements that you use to demonstrate proficiency to be able to move into different belts. So like when I did Shotokan, we had to do these different katas and then you do them, and then that's how you test it into your new belts, which I thought was ridiculous because it was like a choreographed dance. Like you had to memorize this thing and then be able to execute it, which didn't really seem much like fighting. So, but
it's the exact same thing as the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
So it's used all across all domains.
It would have worked if that guy's name was Jim.
Gymkata.
Oh, gymnastics kata.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How did I miss it all these years?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Do we nail it down? So we need to hit what our game show has?
Do we need uneven bars like in Gymkata? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, first of all, the only experience and exposure you have to Gymkata is through the Family Guy. You got to watch the movie.
You're not wrong.
You got to watch the movie.
I have to.
I think you have to watch it.
Yeah, I think he does
so.
too.
I think you got to watch it.
So I guess we do need an element of like field work, which is ultimately like all the Titan game shit is what we would call our field work, which is grip intensive, awkward objects, kind of strong.
Not as produced. I think we can get creative out here on the ranch.
Yeah.
Put them to work. Get that creek dug.
Yeah. Dig a hole, bury it.
Got to cut a water line.
So I guess there we have it. We've gone deep on this.
I thought we were going to do 30 minutes. Oh, it's 37.
How about that? We've gone deep. You guys now know which network challenge is the best representation of athletic endeavors, and you know how the Power Athlete Game Show would be. Now, what else do you want to know? Why don't you call and ask? Hotline's open, baby. 929-ING-0. That's 929-464-4640. Until next time, bye.
Now it's time for you to empower your performance. Head to powerathletehq.com/training to choose from a number of programs to meet your specific performance goals. And if you like to break a mental sweat too, visit academy.powerathletehq.com and become a real stakeholder in you or your athlete's success. Until next time, bye!